There are moments when nature only needs seconds to change everything. Terrifying storms, historic floods, and world-shattering disasters. These are authentic images capturing the most terrifying power of nature and humanity's struggle for survival amidst catastrophe. You are watching 911 Rescue POV, a compilation of the world's most horrific natural disaster moments. Massive waves suddenly slammed into the shoreline and swept away barriers within seconds. Seawater flooded the entire area, causing people to panic and run for safety. The terrifying power of the ocean turned the beach into complete chaos as huge waves continued crashing inland with incredible force. Electrical sparks suddenly erupted in the middle of a violent storm. Residents quickly fled the area in panic. A wheel suddenly detached from a truck and rolled straight down the road at a dangerously high speed. Vehicles behind barely managed to avoid disaster at the last second. While driving, the man sensed an approaching landslide when a rock fell on his car. He immediately pulled over to avoid the landslide. Fortunately, the car only suffered minor damage to the windshield, and he was safe. An electric vehicle suddenly began smoking in the middle of the road, forcing nearby drivers to slow down. Just seconds later, flames erupted violently, leaving everyone who witnessed the scene in shock. Massive waves continuously surged onto the shore, sweeping away a vehicle trapped in the raging water. Within seconds, the entire coastal area was overwhelmed by chaotic floodwaters. The terrifying scene left many people stunned with fear. A massive tornado suddenly formed beneath the darkened sky, sweeping dust and debris directly through a parking lot. Trees bent violently, a giant flag whipped through the air, and the entire area quickly descended into chaos as security cameras captured the terrifying force of the storm approaching nearby homes. Gigantic waves crashed violently against the cliffs, creating a scene that looked like waterfalls pouring into the ocean. White water thundered down with tremendous force as the entire area shook from the roaring sound of the waves. Tourists watching from a distance were left amazed by the terrifying power of nature. A pickup truck suddenly burst into flames at a gas station. The emergency fire suppression system immediately activated, spraying thick white foam across the entire area. The massive fire and thick black smoke terrified everyone nearby. Huge waves repeatedly slammed into the seawall with terrifying force. Within seconds, white seawater completely covered the coastal area. Witnesses were left horrified by the violent power of nature. A polar bear suddenly appeared near a snow-covered residential area. The snowmobile rider immediately sped away as the animal moved closer and closer. The tense moment left everyone watching completely terrified. The man, wanting to show off, tried to repair a power pole himself, but due to a lack of expertise, the pole collapsed, causing a power outage in the entire area. Therefore, it's said, enthusiasm without expertise leads to destruction. The storm combined with the flash flood swept away a lot of people's property, and all they could do was watch helplessly. The incident occurred at a shopping mall in Hong Kong. The roof suddenly collapsed, but fortunately no casualties were reported. A gigantic wall of ice suddenly collapsed into the ocean, creating an enormous wave that rushed directly toward a nearby boat. The moment captured by locals shows a landslide accompanied by mud, rocks, and soil. The force of the landslide was terrifying, sweeping away everything in its path. Travelers waiting inside the airport terminal were suddenly caught in a powerful earthquake that violently shook the building. Within seconds, lights began flickering and security equipment started collapsing, and passengers ran through the terminal in panic. Security cameras captured the entire scene as the terminal descended into chaos. As the earthquake began, the father immediately guided his two young daughters away from danger. Powerful winds swept through a residential area in Hunan Province, China. The homeowner quickly attempted to move his vehicle to safety before conditions worsened.
Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
A sudden tsunami swept in, gradually submerging everything in water. Outside, a severe thunderstorm continued to intensify while fear grew inside the home as the roof began shaking violently. Moments later, powerful winds tore part of the roof away, leaving the house unsafe. Severe storm winds tore away part of the home's roof, forcing the residents to move to a safer shelter. Security cameras captured the moment part of a building's roof suddenly collapsed onto a busy roadway below. Fortunately, the man chose to keep a safe distance rather than getting too close to the dangerous area. A serious landslide occurred at a mine. As soon as the incident happened, the mine workers were notified and evacuated safely. Work had to stop until everything was properly handled. A powerful windstorm tore through a parking area, ripping away several overhead canopies that stood little chance against the intense winds. A POV camera captured the terrifying moment a mountain climber was suddenly caught in a powerful avalanche while hiking through the snowy terrain. A lightning strike damaged part of the home, but fortunately everyone inside remained safe. In an instant, Everything in the house was swept away by the storm.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Massive waves repeatedly smashed against the seawall, creating towering columns of white water higher than the nearby coastal houses.
Oh my God.
Residents could only watch through their windows as seawater flooded the streets outside. A car parked near the road was nearly swept away by the raging water that continued rising without stopping. The chaotic scene made the entire area look as if it had been swallowed by the ocean within minutes.
Look at them. Oh my God.
A huge mass of snow suddenly slid off a rooftop and crashed down just a few meters away from a man standing nearby. The dangerous moment left everyone shocked during the intense snowstorm.
Oh my God.
Violent winds during the storm knocked down trees and filled the air with dust and debris. Authorities urged residents to remain indoors as conditions worsened. A gigantic ship suddenly launched into the water, creating enormous waves along the canal shore. Water surged violently, shaking the surrounding area like a small flood. This powerful launching moment left everyone in awe of the immense weight of the massive vessel. Just seconds later, the ship tilted heavily and generated huge waves that crashed directly into the shoreline. Avalanches may appear breathtaking from a distance, but they remain one of the most dangerous natural hazards in mountainous regions. The match was temporarily suspended as severe weather moved into the area, bringing heavy rain and dangerous lightning.
West Windsor, Princeton Junction train station, and we're underwater.
This is the flooding situation near the entrance to a subway station. Although the water level was not extremely deep, safe movement through the area became nearly impossible.
A bit wet here. Big waterfall.
A serious utility pole fire broke out in a rural area of Canada. Emergency crews arrived quickly and managed to contain the situation before it spread further. A police officer had a close call when lightning unexpectedly struck a nearby power pole. A family enjoying a trip on the lake was suddenly shocked when dozens of fish began leaping wildly out of the water. Some even landed directly inside the boat, creating a moment that was both surprising and unforgettable.
Sorry.
Did you see that? Yeah, I got that on camera. Nope.
Damn!
Oh!
Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to be the first to see the latest videos. See you in the next video.